That's right. You heard it here, folks. We're blaming it on Bob.
Blame it on Bob.
He messed up his OBS settings and
Oh,
was trying to
badly.
figure out how to figure it out.
Sorry, it was pretty bad. I'm like,
He was all stretched and fat and weird.
I mean, I'm stretching fat and weird just naturally, but it made it even worser. You would have got.
Welcome to another Cardboard Conversations. We are Patless tonight. He wasn't feeling too good after waking up from his nap, so he's going to kind of just chill out and relax at home. Today we talk about some TMNT and some things that Wizards has done correctly, because they don't always fail. And then we'll be doing some Cardboard Conversations, Commander Raids. Actually, it's not Cardboard Conversations, it's just Commander Raids box breaks games with Nate tonight and our show after the show, which is normally members only, but we're doing another free episode to kind of advertise Commander Raids.
We were really hoping that we get all four of us on this one, but it looks like you'll have to tune in for an additional week to watch format on it, I guess.
Yeah, and I have a updated rule set for Commander Raids for our box break, because our previous rule set was quite easy. We've never lost, so I kind of juiced the crap out of it. I initially juiced it just a little bit, and then I still beat it a bunch, and it was really easy. And then Bob's like, do this, make it hard. I'm like, but it's going to be so hard. And then I end up doing some of his, and then I added more, and then I have a 60% win rate. So either I'm the best, or it's just RNG is RNG. I mean, it all depends on what you roll. At the end of the day, you can only make each roll so impactful.
Well, and
that just feels like a swift kick in the nuts every single time.
Part of what I want to apologize even to like the viewing audience that tuned in, and you're watching us actively adjusting Commander Raids, but that's not such a bad thing. What it shows you is that we're always paying attention, even if it's a new boss, of how to make it a better play experience. And not only that, we want all of you, if you participate in Commander Raids out there, we want you to make it your format, right? We want you to adjust things the way you like it. So you don't even consider it rule 0, but more like you're adding and changing rules and making the play experience that you want. It's not just a temporary agreement at the table. We have an active Discord that makes different flavors and versions of Commander Raids. We're not tight-fisted about this. We actually encourage and want to see as many different flavors under the sun, of Commander Raids out there as possible. We're not tightly controlling anything. We want, honestly, just to give you guys a framework to build a PvE cooperative experience and get creative with it. Make a format that appeals to you, rather than just plugging in, getting the meta, building the meta decks, and piloting them. Something I was talking about with Sherry Vegas earlier today that it really bothered me back in 2000. A lot of you may not be able to relate to this, but prior to 2000, there was no such thing as like meta decks, really. People, you would go to an LGS, you would go there for Friday Night Magic, you'd go there to draft, usually was like the big thing. But then you'd also have, legitimate constructed games as well. But back then it was like type 1, type 1.5, and type 2, right? That's all you really basically had. And it was great because you got to see new and exciting things with Magic, that they used a broad palette of cards in the Magic arsenal, and you got to watch things in creative ways. I think with the internet, we lost a lot of the creativity in Magic because people just log in, they see what the meta is to be competitive. And after 2000, each set release, and I think it's even probably still true today, you're generally only playing against one of 3 decks, right? So you either have one of those 3 decks or you're not really participating. There's no fun decks that you could bring. There's no creativity. There's no, you saw this and saw some synergy that somebody else didn't. You're tapping the knowledge of the entire internet. So it's solved even before release. And the beautiful thing about Commander Raids, very long-winded going with this, is we want it to be a growing format that constantly evolves and has a lot of different ways to play so that your decks do different things in different formats. So it's a creative way to look at Magic with the whole card base that you have. Cards that were shit in one format are great in another. That's the beauty of it, is that you get to give new life to all of your cards in Magic.
I don't know. I don't totally agree that net decking is killed everything. There's been plenty of times where the Pro Tour comes out and new decks come out of the woodworks and do really, really well, and they're not like the meta. They become the meta, but there are moments of the standard or whatever that gets shaken up by different decks that are brand new from the pros that they've got teams or whatever, and they do testing and of brand new decks. So I don't know. It has it. I
And
think
then it
it's
rapidly turns into the meta.
yeah. I think it just kind of accelerates what was already happening previously.
I'm not saying
There's
it
not a
killed everything. I say it took a lot of the creativity that you would see on a consistent basis week after week when you would show up at a LGS.
and I
And
don't think that's the same thing
that's
for Commander. I think
disappeared.
Commander is still got that. I don't know. Like just this past Thursday, Nate was playing a brand new deck, Ariat, and I would say probably 90% of the cards that he played, I had no idea. I've never heard of them. Like it's a
Commander's
special kind of
different.
commander that rewards you for playing cards that are really strange, and I don't know. You still get it. It's just I get what you're
Commander's
saying.
different until you get into like CEDH. There is a meta for CEDH, and if you're not
Oh
part of
yeah,
that meta,
CEDH is very similar.
like it's all samey. You're going to see the same decks over and over again. And even if they're new decks, they're just slightly variant from previous decks. It's not. Anyways, and I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying it was something that I didn't enjoy. Like it's changed the way people like, and it's been the same since. And what I was referring to mainly was standard, right? Like showing up at an LGS,
Yeah.
playing standard on Friday night, and even before the set's released now, everybody's already play tested the decks on like Moxfield and other places before they even have the cards. And I miss those days. But do you not agree that Commander Raids would be a fantastic way for people to constantly change the formats so that you have fresh gameplay with different cards? Like you give new life to cards. It's not that it was a meta solved. It's that there is no meta, right? That there's a framework with our base version of Commander Raids, but that's not really a meta to solve. It is just a framework to begin with, and then you build from that different variants of commanders to play in a cooperative and fun way. And there are no net decks. Sorry, folks, you're not going to go out on EDH Rec and find the best deck for Commander Raids. It don't exist.
Just actually, that's not true. Go to EDH Rec and type in group hug, and you'll be golden.
There's going to be some cards in group hug that don't work.
You say that there is no meta, but there kind of is. There are cards that, because of the way that the format is, that they are the meta because of that. Like Scheming Symmetry, that card almost would never see play, or very rarely would, because you're giving somebody else a tutor. But because Commander Raids is a PvE format, giving somebody else a tutor for 1 black mana, you both Vampiric Tutor to the top of your deck. That's very strong. So I feel like if this format took off, that would be a meta card 100%. And of course,
so with a lot of things, if we did
and
ban them, Collective Voyage, busted.
yeah. Collective Voyage would 100% be, the go-to. You'd have one guy that's just like turbo, and then tutor for that, and then Collective Voyage and win. But
yeah,
there's
sure.
definitely ways to
But
break the format, and if it became popular, it would be, it'd be fun. I think there'd be,
if it became
cool.
truly a thing and we had to have a committee, and I'm sure there would be enough people bitching about things like that, and you'd probably have to stop playing cards like Howling Mine, or at least come up with a way that the boss monster would benefit from it as well. And like, just, yeah.
It also is pretty cool that because Pat decided that he wants to make a new raid monster for each set, that means that there's going to be a large variety of different raid monsters, and then as we tune it and we make it better, there will be a meta for each one of those raid monsters. So then some cards might be more powerful, based on the raid monsters' abilities. They each all do different
ultimately
things.
there could be a meta, is what you're saying, but we're not big enough yet for there to be a meta.
I think there's already a meta in
Our play group.
in our play group in the way that like we have we have a way that we're building towards the goal of the raid monster. Like Lava Leaper. I don't know if I would ever play Lava Leaper, giving everybody's creatures haste and giving everybody double mana. But in this format, it's insane.
Oh yeah,
It's a
or my
red mana
favorite,
staple.
Seardan the Shipwright. Like you would never play that anywhere else, but in Commander Raids, that card is a powerhouse. Sure, I agree, and it's the intention of it. But really, the strongest part for Commander Raids is I don't know. Did you watch? I know I don't think you watch a lot of other content creators, but
Not a ton.
Jake from Martitious Magic. Yo, coach.
What up, coaches?
I am having a great weekend.
Yeah.
Had some friends over last night. But Martitious Magic did a breakdown of the TMNT turtle team up. Like he did a box opening because he's an ambassador and all that kind of stuff. I talked to him a little bit behind the scenes. But his description of it was he had 3 friends that he went and played it with, if you watch the video. And he had one of them that was a hardcore entrenched Magic player, one who had never played Magic before, and I wasn't really sure where the other one was. I think it was somewhere in between, like an entrenched player and a new player. And what he was saying is it was a fantastic product to teach new to Magic people how to play, being that it's a cooperative PvE format, very similar in theory, but not in practice to Commander Raids. We don't have a deck for the boss. And he said the great part about it is playing with the hands face up was a superior way to bring new people into Magic because you can walk them through the steps. You can walk them through the decisions you have to make and play lines and those kind of things. And that is 100% similar to Commander Raids. That
You do have to be careful with that when you're teaching somebody how to play Magic that way, because it can turn into you just telling them what to do, and they
Sure.
might not understand every move that you're doing and why you're doing it.
Sure.
So I've seen people teach that way, and I'm like, that's not the right way. I mean, you can just tell that they have like a blank face. They're like, okay, I do that. And I'm like, yeah, you don't know what the hell you just did.
Well, I mean, that's up to you as a teacher how to do it, and it's up to the person that's learning how to play to know when to say when for help. But I'm just saying what he assessed as a great mechanic to teaching new players is exactly the same in Commander Raids. And I agree with him. I've been teaching friends how to get into Magic and to show them the play lines and just, teaching them how to understand that an artifact is a permanent and an enchantment is a permanent and that sorceries are only there temporarily and so are instants and all these different rules, and you can only play 1 land per turn, and that it matters the order that you cast things in for play lines to optimize that. Even with the same cards, you can play it. How many of us have played in the wrong order? Like even as entrenched Magic players, go, I should have done that the other way. We do take backs, but to teach new players to teach them that there are play lines that they need to be observant of. I think that's great. And you're not just sitting there either crushing their face over and over again or letting them win. Neither of those are fantastic ways to get into the game. So it's a way that people of disparate skill levels can play together without it being contentious or a bad experience.
Yeah.
Just like board games.
I wanted to share this is a quick glimpse of a format that I'm working on. This is like some kind of, I don't even know. We can call it a roguelike. We can call it a Slay the Spire like, or whatever you want to call it. But it's going to be for Commander Raids. But this here is a board that I had made from Mr. ChatGPT. It was a struggle. I had to actually Photoshop because it didn't understand. I don't know how much I could have explained it better, but it didn't understand everything I wanted it to do. So I had to Photoshop. But anyways, the goal is to be able to like traverse a board. Every E is like an encounter, and it's going to be manipulating how you build your deck. And the idea would be to have a hero class and a deck, but that deck is tied to the hero class, and that deck will be kind of like a precon. It'll start off as a specific kind of way, and then you would use your bulk to fuel the encounters. So you can only use commons on commons in your bulk, unless there's going to be special encounters that allow you to use bulk rares or bulk mythics. Probably going to be tied to like maybe even like after you kill a boss, maybe you'll get to choose from a rare or a mythic. And this will like the idea is to like by the time you from the time you start your deck until the end, and actually fight the last boss, your deck should be doing something completely different or very very different. I don't know exactly how everything's all going to work, but I just figured I would share this.
It's a very similar concept, and I love it. The style of game that is what we call a deck builder. That you don't start with the same deck you finish with, um, or that you've improved the deck from the start to the finish. And I love deck builders. So this is the first time I'm seeing this, folks. And I love
Yeah,
the concept. I love the idea. And like I was saying at the beginning of the show, the beauty about Commander Raids is we want to do exactly this. Not only us coming up with formats, but you in the audience and whomever is in the Discord. Be creative with Magic. Give your entire library new life for different reasons. I liked Matt's concept where he said destructible cards. If you are familiar with and Matt or anybody in the audience, uh, in the board gaming world, they have what's called legacy games. They have Pandemic Legacy, they have Clank Legacy, they have other legacy games out there as well. And what those games do, you buy the board game. They're usually kind of expensive, around $100 or so, and you play through a series of scenarios, right? And you'll put stickers on the board. You'll destroy cards and objects in the game. So literally like a one-time playthrough. Um, and Matt had come up with the concept, what do you do with a lot of bulk that you have? Was something that could be fun is that instead of discarding or exiling a card, you rip it in half. It's done. It's over. That card is no longer a concern, and it's easy to just toss right in the trash. But rather than tossing it in the trash before it's ever had a life to do anything, you get to play with it first, right? And
yeah.
I
The
I, I
majority of
like
these
that
cards,
concept.
like I've got him. Bob has tons. I have like this. I have two boxes to the right of me of just commons on commons that are just all whatever. They're never gonna see the light of day. I was gonna just give them away, but I feel like me giving them away is very little difference from like just like throwing them away because the odds of somebody else that I give it to, it might just sit around in their house and do nothing, and then they'll eventually throw it away or recycle them because I think they're recyclable. Maybe
No,
they're
they're not.
cardboard.
Nope,
Well, I've definitely put them in
not
the recycling bin
recyclable.
before. But yeah, so the idea would be to at least give them one last hurrah before they go, and it would also just be like the crappy cards. Like I don't know if I would do Commander Staples. Maybe they would be free from
Let's go,
being ripped
Gaius
up,
Cradle in there, bitches.
and
Let's tear up a Gaius Cradle or a dual.
it's all going to be bulk stuff. I'm, and then also the idea that I had as well is I would tie. I was thinking about tying in the stream or tying in the YouTube channel of like channel members can follow along the journey of each roguelike, and then maybe by the end of like if a deck survives the whole board, maybe I give that deck away to somebody, and then that gives
That'd
them a
be dope.
jump start to build. Because it's still going to follow the same command. It's still going to be singleton only. It's going to have its own command there. Everything all says, yeah, actually, and also I do have another. I do have another. I'll share one more thing that I've been working on because it's related to that. I like I said, I mentioned a hero class. Is it in here? Yeah, here we go. This is one of the hero classes that I have. It's called Johnny the Showstopper. So there each hero class is going to have its own restriction. For Johnny the Showstoppers, your deck may only contain cards that are foil, showcase, borderless, extended art, retro frame, secret lair, or if it has any kind of visible non-standard frame or treatment. If it looks special, it counts. If it looks normal, it doesn't. But of course, basic lands are fine. And then it has an ability the first time each encounter, whenever you cast a spell with mana value 6 or greater, you draw 3 cards. That only happens one time, but it gives you something kind of like a crescendo thing, being flashy at low, casting something at 6 CMC or better. One way to probably do that would be have like a commander that's 6 CMC. So you'll always do it. And
And
then
yeah, I mean, what this highlights for all of you out there in the audience is that we truly have an intention that we want this to be only as limited as your imagination can be on how to be creative with the rule set of Commander Raids. As in similarity to like D&D, you're only limited by your imagination as to what worlds you can create. So, we encourage everybody to jump in and make fun playable formats. You never know, one might take off and be complete fire, and there's lots of formats that were player created in the Magic world. Never know
One
which
thing I'm
one's going to hit.
noticing with the wording on this is it doesn't really make a ton of sense. But the next ability is whenever you cast a spell with a visibly non-standard frame or treatment, which in this deck has to be every card. So it really should just say whenever you cast a spell. You put a style counter on Johnny, and then you can remove 3 style counters to either copy a spell only once encounter, draw a card, discard a card, or allow you to cast one of your spells with flash. So that's kind of like the idea. Each hero class is going to have its own way to kind of like build around, and it's going to be it's kind of like Companion, where you're like your deck is being restricted by the hero class. So it's similar in that way. It should be fun. There's a lot of work to do on it, obviously. But yeah, the idea is to either give away the cards in a constructive manner to channel members or to destroy them in a way that is, has some dramatic flair. Maybe one of the bosses. So one of the ideas I had is more of an opt-in situation where if you want to play this format and you don't want to destroy your cards, obviously that can be the default mode. You don't destroy any cards. You just play. If you want to have fun with your bulk. And then there will be bosses that have hard modes. If you want to go against the hard mode, the reward will be better, but there will be modes on his roll chart that actually destroy your cards. Literally, you rip them up. So the idea is that you're going riskier. You're like, okay, I want to get the better reward, but that has some risk and like it might destroy some of your good cards in your deck. So and it also removes it from the pool as well, because you have to remember that these decks are being built from all your bulk. You might have duplicates of many of your cards, but there might be some you only have so many soul rings or so many arcane signets. So
it's like
yeah,
hardcore mode in video games like Diablo 2 or World of Warcraft, where you died, that's it.
Yep,
it's over. It's hardcore mode. But speaking about hero classes, we finally have TMNT released, or at least pre-released, and we got cards out there and whatnot. And one of the parts of the segment we wanted to get through tonight is discussing the TMNT cards that we actually like, even though I'm not a fan of the set. I got to be honest. You think there's a way to have an alternative raids format where someone playing the boss with their own boss deck? Like I said, only limited by your imagination. I think you're going to be a little underpowered. You'd have to have some additional rules on top of it. Otherwise, it's a 3v1 commander.
Well, Coach, that's basically what we had with Twiddler. Twiddler, if you want to look at that, I think it was last week's episode or week before last, where he was a guest on the podcast, and he decided to kind of come along with us to come play the Commander Raids box break. And we were like, hey, if you want to roll for the raid monster, you can. So he was the one responsible for rolling every result on the raid monsters table. So if you wanted that kind of situation where you're like somebody's playing the raid monster, either they can be the one responsible for rolling and they're rolling off of the chart that whatever raid monster you're choosing to pick from, or you can have them create their own raid monster table, their 1 through 20 results, and then they can bring that to the table and go, hey, I'm the raid monster with these results. It would be you'd have to trust them, obviously, because they could if they're making it themselves. There's no play testing as far as not to say that we are the best play testers, but we at least do some strategy and we play test the rules. See that there's some trust involved, obviously. But yeah, there's definitely ways to do that.
Sure. I mean, I'd like to see what you would come up with, but I think that ultimately the one player with just regular Magic cards, I don't think they'd be powerful enough to overcome a 3v1.
There's Arch Nemesis, right?
I do, and but those Arch Nemesis cards are really powerful, right?
Yeah,
you'd have to do something like
Arch Nemesis is you have your own commander deck, but then you also have an Arch Nemesis deck that gives you buffs every turn. So that's kind of what you would need in order to keep
There's
up.
Also the challenge decks, in case you're not aware of that, not just the Arch Nemesis, but Arch Nemesis is exactly what you're talking about. But you're talking about designing your own deck. I get it with your own cards. Yeah, it would be difficult, but it would be doable. Sure, go for it. Um,
Anything is possible.
sure, sure.
But yeah, TMNT. So I don't actually think it's a bad set at all. I actually think it's quite good. I don't know. I want to talk about one of my favorite cards, and then I guess we can kind of. I don't know if you picked one or not.
I've got. There are a few that I actually have. Part of that was what caused me to be late tonight, trying to put one of them in the background, and things went sideways. We'll just put it that
There's
mistakes
a
were made.
lot of powerful cards, but this card here, Party Dude, for a singular green. When this class enters, each player creates a food token, and if you level it up to 2, it just has a static ability. Whenever an artifact an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. There's no limitation, no once per turn. It's just anytime somebody cracks a clue, a food, a treasure, anytime they sacrifice any of their artifacts for whatever they want to do, you just draw a
That'd be
card.
great for raids.
It's crazy. You're a banana guy? Your monkey
Kibo.
guy that you have? Kibo? Yeah, this is crazy for that. And the last ability is for 5 mana. You can, whenever one of your opponents are attacked, you get to give it +X for X number of cards in your hand. That one's kind of whatever. I just think that you would level it up to 2 and just, unless you have like a bunch of empty mana.
In Commander Raids, that would be bonkers. What are you talking about?
Yes, in Commander Raids is good. It's only one creature, but it's still it's just a lot of mana is what I'm saying. For the 3 mana cost to if that was all it did, it would be insane still. And the fact that it has that other ability is kind of like, yeah, whatever. You're still buffing your opponent's stuff. But at least the way that it's worded, like you said, for Commander Raids, it still works because the raid monster is just as whenever your opponents are attacked. That's all you care about.
Yeah, right. That's what I was saying. Like, whoa. So the boss monster doesn't get the bonus, but your team does.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like it's definitely a Commander Raids. I would say it's a Commander Raids tape. Well, the second ability doesn't work for you, unfortunately.
Oh, sure it does.
Whenever an artifact an opponent controls is put into a graveyard.
In the standard mode, all of his minions are.
I mean, it does have some.
What's that?
I mean, it does have some. Yeah.
Yeah.
The raid games typically they last anywhere between 5 and 9
12
rounds.
I've yet to see a Commander Raids go beyond 12 rounds.
Yeah, that's why I said 9. 5 and 9 is the average, I would say. And between 5, so we'll say 7 is like the average number of rounds.
6 or 7 is pretty typical.
6, 7. Yeah, this card, I came across this card today when I was looking through. I'm like, this card's nuts. And then of course, this card is just.
So
I posted Commander Raids. I posted this in our group chat with our Thursday group, or my Thursday group, and David replied to it was, "I hate WotC."
I mean, I can see this being good in normal Commander, and it's also fantastic. It's definitely going in my deck for Commander Raids. Like I play.
There are plenty of cards that do this effect, but it's not up to 4. Like there's normally it's 1 or 2
for 2 mana.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's
not that I know of. That's a lot of value. This is talk about Value Town. Yeah, this is the first card that made me go whoa in looking at all the TMNT cards. I just really had to take a step back and say, good God, that's powerful, not just in Commander Raids, because immediately in Commander Raids, you generally do run into a board wipe, or you should at least once or twice a game. Otherwise, it's just a punching bag for the boss. I think it's kind of power creepy. I agree with you there. Yeah, I don't know that Matt agrees with me, but woo.
There's other effects with this. So it's like Malakir Rebirth. It's like 1 black mana instant. If the creature would die, it comes back. That's basically what I'm saying. That's what this card is. But this card's on like a whole other level, because not only it doesn't care about the restriction of when the creature dies, it could be any time it dies as long as it's died this turn, and the fact that it doesn't return them tapped, which is crazy. Normally these kind of effects return them tapped. This doesn't return them tapped. This is an instant speed 2 mana. Like The
It's
closest
strong.
card that I can think of that does anything close to this, and it's not even it's a very power creeped version of it, is a
Yeah,
card.
I mean, this was one of the stronger ones in my opinion that I saw. Like, like I said, it's just my opinion, but as soon as I saw this when I was going through honestly, you want to know something stupid? That was the card that made me buy those 2 commander decks. I was like, good God. Like, I need that card.
So this card, if you remember from New Phyrexia, 4 mana, instant, create a 3/3 beast creature token for each card put into a graveyard this turn. So this was kind of like the anti-board wipe back then for 4 mana and in green. And you don't even get those creatures back, you just get 3/3s. Then you come to this, and you've got any of your creatures that died, if they have ETBs, if they have any kind of really just mainly ETBs. Or if they have death triggers, like you don't even have to wait until what'd you remove it for?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were even looking at mine. I was going to my next card.
Oh, okay. I only grabbed one. We're grabbing more. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of cards in
There are a
here.
few of them. I actually have at least 3. Now, you're probably going to hate my next card because it's a very Johnny kind of card.
Is it 10
And
mana?
I don't know how to even begin to approach this with Commander Raids. We've never really discussed this option. And I don't even remember how it functions. I think that there is an outside of game area legal for Commander.
Nope.
Or there's supposed to be one coming.
They thought about adding a sideboard, which would allow these cards to work. Yeah. Right now, it just doesn't work.
But even if it's not outside the game, many decks, most of my decks have a lot of legendaries in them, right? Being that it's a singleton format, a lot of commander decks have a bunch of legendaries in them. And so, it's a little expensive. You can't see it because of the duck head, but for 4 mana instant to go search your library and get 2 of the 4 of your best legendaries in there. Right? Or legendary. I should say legendary creatures. I don't want to say legendaries because a lot of legendaries you have are lands and enchantments and artifacts, but legendary creatures. I generally have a number of legendary creatures in my decks. And so being able to tutor 2 of them, like, that's not bad. That's basically 2 mana. It's a 2 mana instant tutor, right?
Why
That's
is
the way
it
I
2 mana?
well, because it's 4 and you're getting 2 cards.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make it cheaper. It's still 4 mana.
It's 4 mana, but it's 2 mana per card is the way I see it, right?
Yeah, I mean, the one of the bad problems with the card would be that you're giving your opponents the choice to dictate what card you're going to get. But in a lot of cards that are like this, there's ones for lands that you can, or there's ones for. Isn't there one for any cards? There's already one. Isn't this just like a worse version of the blue one that does this?
I think you split, like, they get it. Kind of, yeah. It splits it into 2 piles, and like it's 3 and 2. I think is what you're talking about. It's like Gifts Ungiven or something.
Gifts Ungiven, yeah. Search your library for up to 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest in your hand. So this is just it's literally a white version of it's the exact same card except for just worse.
No, because these put them back in your library. The other one puts them in your graveyard.
Yeah, Gifts Ungiven's better, but yeah.
I don't see the graveyard as a better place.
It is 100% a better place. Reanimation. It's very good.
Blue doesn't have any reanimation.
Yeah, but you're not playing mono blue. You're playing blue black.
Okay.
Or blue black white.
I
this card's not
we
bad.
get it.
This is just
black graveyard recursion is your favorite thing, and it would be a terrible thing if anybody had graveyard hate. You seem to completely ignore graveyard hate.
Yeah, because most people don't. Most people don't fill their decks with what could happen if somebody goes to reanimate something. Most people don't do that. Some people do. David does because he hates everybody else doing things with their decks. So he runs his decks with stopping things
Time capsule
from everybody else doing their thing, and then his deck does nothing. So it's kind of like that's the problem. I feel like you just build your deck the way you want it to be played, and then I can see some situations to where you would want like silver bullets. That's really what they're called. They're called silver bullets. Silver bullets for specific strategies. But like at the end of the day, if you fill your deck full of a bunch of silver bullets, then you're just like, waiting to stop somebody from doing their
So,
thing.
so
It's like,
like I s-
or
like I said,
just do your
folks,
thing.
I told you that Matt would hate this card.
It's not a bad. I never said it's bad. It's gifts ungiven. How can it be bad? It's not
But
bad. It's just not as good. It's a shitty gifts ungivens, which is a good thing because gifts ungiven was banned for the longest time.
I don't think it's shitty, and I don't play out of my graveyard.
It's a shitty version of gifts ungiven, which is still good.
And I play graveyard hate.
Yeah, good luck. My card I can't find. I don't know where it's at.
I have at least one more. I have more than one more, but I can just limit it so we can get beyond this segment. We're coming up, folks, on the Commander Raid section. Do you have the link for the Commander Raids? I actually have two more at least that I want to share. I'll share the one that I like the most first, if I can find it real quick. I don't have it pulled up. I know what it is, and the reason that I like it, I was watching Jake play some pre-release draft on Arena, and I didn't think this card was very good when I saw it drafted, but watching it in play, it was actually quite good. Not color. I mean, I generally I don't play a lot of black decks. I have very few black decks, or even just black in part of my decks, is what I'm saying. But this guy, and I thought it was just more like a meme that he was drafting, but it's called Pizza Faced Gastromancer.
It does sound like a meme. I'll give it that. I found the card.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, I have
Maybe
Pizza Face up.
That's fine. I'll
tell you right now, that disappear. So forget about the bottom one. I mean, that's obviously a meme. 10 and sacrifice this guy to gain 15 life. Stop it. And creating a food token when he enters for 5. But he is an artifact creature himself, but it's his disappear mechanic. At the beginning of your end step, if a permanent left the battlefield under your control this turn, right? Put 3 1/1 counters on up to one other target artifact or creature. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a 0/0 mutant creature in addition to its other types. Love you too, Sherry Vegas. Now, some of the things that have rattled me before, and I didn't even think about this, like originally, but then I started thinking about it, and being able to turn like the Helm of the Host into a creature is amazing because it's so much easier to copy creatures than it is to copy just straight artifacts. So basically, this is turning everything, every artifact, into a much more easily copyable artifact. Right? Beyond just the +1/+1, which can be backbreaking if you're playing any kind of food tokens, mutagen tokens. You get the idea. Treasure tokens. And you're set and something leaves the battlefield, or if you're playing any kind of bounce strategy or sack recursion strategy, putting 3 +1/+1 counters on any artifact or creature is strong in and of itself. And when you think about this, he's in Lathral's colors, right? So being able to boost her is crucial so that she makes more and more elf tokens every time she connects. But the ability to turn any artifact into a creature is awesome.
I don't like him, but
I'll tell you what, he was a severe
expensive.
bomb in limited.
I don't know if I don't know. I can see there being situations where turning an artifact into a creature is good, but like a 3/3, who gives a shit? What's a 3/3 gonna do? Nothing.
But it's not that. It's like being able to copy Helm of the Host, and now you have just
But you
Helm of the
can't
Host.
copy Helm of the Host. Helm of the Host is a legendary.
Okay, and then you just ignored the legendary rule with mirror. What's it called?
So then you can't have this as your commander. Or
What?
is Mirror Hall's a artifact?
It's an artifact.
Okay.
What is it called? Mirror. Oh fuck! What I can't remember the name.
Mirror
It's
Gallery?
the one that lets you. It ignores the mirror, the legendary rule. There's lots of things out there now that
Mirror Box.
Yeah.
Yeah, the legend rule doesn't apply.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It only does it once every turn. It's at the end of your turn. It's awkward timing.
Yeah, but you only need to turn it into a creature once.
Yeah.
or or what's that called? The staff of the magistrate, right? Make multiple copies of that Joker. Like I said, copying artifacts is a much more difficult ability. Copying creatures is stupid easy to do. So I'm just saying, for like, I didn't think, I told you, when I first saw it, I was like, yeah, I wouldn't even have drafted it. And then when he played it, I was like, Jesus, that card won him games.
Maybe in limited it's good, but I don't think it's good in Commander. It's
Um,
very slow,
for
very high mana
right, it
cost,
is
no
slow.
protection.
So it's for a Johnny type player like me who doesn't play optimal cards but wants to do interesting things. That is why I play the game. You always say, "Why would you put that card? It's a bad card." It's because I want to play it. I want to see it do its thing. And this is one of those cards that's for fun that you get to do a thing you don't generally get to do. I don't care if I win.
I don't feel like this is a unique mechanic, but I feel like
It's
there's
definitely
other
not
creatures
unique.
that
It's
yeah.
not unique, but this is a lot of abilities stapled to a uncommon.
I mean, Liquid
Cool.
Metal Torque is like a staple that does this at will on whatever you want. I don't know. I mean,
Like I
I would
said,
obviously go in this deck.
I like it. I'm allowed to have cards that I like. Stop
Sure.
pooping on my parade, people.
I'm not saying it's the worst card I've ever seen. I'm just saying I would never play it.
I know,
But
but
a card that I would play,
you only play to win, and you only have fun when you win.
Ninja Pizza. The words I've never thought I'd say in Commander or in Magic the Gathering. It's a 3-mana enchantment where foods you control have tapped, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color. It makes all of your foods treasures. This card's insane. And at the beginning of your second main phase, you create a treasure every turn. It's weird that it's second main phase as well. Uh, yeah. Ninja
I I
Pizza's
I can't see myself playing this, but sure.
what in your Kibo deck where every food is now a treasure.
A banana's not a food.
I thought it created food. Is it actually bananas? Bananas?
I don't think it's a food token. I'd have to go look at it. Hold on, I have them
It's
here
probably a
now.
banana token.
It says banana token, and then it describes what the banana token does, but
Let's
I'll
see
look. I
what.
got it right I
Uh,
got it right here.
yeah, it creates a banana with sacrifice. Add red or green.
It
Oh, and you
creates
gain 2
a
life.
colorless artifact named banana,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't work in Kibo.
But either way, any deck that makes a ton of foods, what was it? The Samwise Lord of the Rings. That guy makes a ton of food. Now they're all just treasures. This card's way stronger than the little fucking fat guy pizza man over that you showed. This card's nuts.
Okay. I'm just saying
Not
I
only
wouldn't
that,
play it.
if you play Academy Manufactor, now you're just creating double tokens, and it doesn't remove the ability of them being foods. They're foods and treasures now. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
this card's probably gonna create some kind of stupid combo where I don't know. There's some people that are gonna find combos with this, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure. And I'm sure that you're right. You're a much better deck builder than I am. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it. I don't have any food decks at all.
I don't think I do either. I've had a Academy Manufactor decks before, but
and then I got one last one, and you're gonna hate it too. So I'm just gonna preface, and I'll even tell you before you look at it. I'll even tell you why you're gonna hate it. The
okay.
mana cost. So let's go ahead and just address that right off the gate.
7 mana, okay.
That's a card you would never play.
It depends on how good it is and if I can cheat it in. I mean, you can reanimate this if it's good enough.
Red green, that'll be tough.
It will. Well, you'd play this in Jund probably. See, like this could be fine in a Jund commander like Henzi or Animar could play it, where you can convert. Like Animar would be really good for this because you would make this a 2 mana 7/7
And see,
with
I
trample
think
haste.
more in lines of Teamer, right? For the blue to manipulate your deck and just automatically get, your
Yeah,
Blightsteel
Animar.
Colossus,
Animar's teamer.
and get your Blightsteel Colossus on top of your deck. So you're just always getting the things that you want on top.
It would definitely not be in the Animars that I've built because I built Cascade Animar, and this puts them on the battlefield, so it wouldn't trigger Cascade. But It's basically sneak attack on a stick, but not from your hand, from the top of your library. Yeah, I don't like the randomness of it, but if you have a way to manipulate your library with like a
Sensei's
scroll rack,
Divining Top.
yeah, scroll rack top. There's
Yeah.
definitely ways to make him good. Yeah, 7 mana is that's hefty. As your commander, like you're not playing this until turn 4 or 5 at best, I would say.
But
Especially with Jeweled
it's a
Motive
card
out
that I
here.
would consider, like, if we were cracking and this is in a normal set, I don't know that I would make it my commander because it's. I mean, you're probably talking. There's not a lot of ramp in this set, which I don't know if you noticed that. It's not a tremendous amount of ramp out there in the set. It's going to be tough to get onto the battlefield in a meaningful time. The coach asked earlier, that how many turns. So this would be out there on the last turn, never get a chance to attack. Like that would be terrible.
Well, that's haste. You might get one attack off.
Okay, one attack and you might just whiff. You know what I mean? On what you
Oh
pull.
yeah, if you have no way to manipulate the top of your library, this card's ass.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's
I
like
don't know that I
it's
would.
like a really bad Atali.
Yes, I'll agree. I'll agree with you. Atali is a far superior card to this.
Can you imagine if this read, whenever Raph and Mikey attacked, reveal cards from each player's library and put a creature from the first creature from everybody's library tapped and attacking?
So that would be
That
much
would,
more
for
like
7
an
mana, that
Italia
would be
effect.
great.
That would be like an Italia effect there. Yeah.
Yeah. Why isn't it that?
No, I agree. There's some ramp out there, Coach. Just when I was watching the draft, there just was not a lot of ramp. They were playing things very much on curve.
It was like everything pizza is a ramp. Well, kind of. It just goes. Never mind. It's just a tutor. I don't know. I haven't looked at all the cards yet.
I haven't looked at all of them, but I just, watching people play it, I haven't seen like, oh, wow, they're really getting a lot of mana going quickly. So I don't even think they have treasure in this set at all. Like they have those food one that you turn into treasures, basically. So that's sort of a very complicated way. It's a ramp with a lot of extra steps. But I like the effect. And like you said, if you could cheat the damn thing out, even like think of it just using it in a sneak attack deck, that would work.
Yeah, as long it has haste, so that makes it so that you'll likely get a trigger off. It's just you have to be able to modify or manipulate the top of your library. If you don't, it's just gonna be you're gonna get like a Lana or Elf or a Birds of Paradise or fucking some like 2/2 or whatever. It's gonna feel pretty bad.
Sure. But anyways, that's the last card that look, you said go get the cards that you like. These are the cards I like to. Are they the strongest cards? That wasn't the requirement. The requirement was cards that I like.
This one's a charge counter card. I like charge counters. They seem cool. It's a landfall
Ooh, I didn't even
artifact.
see that.
Whenever a land you control enters, put a charge counter on its artifact. You can tap it. It's just a mana rock normally. You don't have to use a charge counter for anything. If you remove 2 charge counters, you get 2 colorless. Or if you remove 3 charge counters, you get the lightning bolt something. That's pretty good for a mana rock.
Well, what I would combine this with, and again, you'd be like, that's terrible. Pull up the Magistrate Scepter. But you'd probably know the card that would make this so much better with the Magistrate Scepter. And what's the one that it's not hardened scale? Oh, there was a creature that had hardened scales on it in this. It was one of the green guys had hardened scales built into it.
There's Corpse Jack Menace, but that's a reprint.
Huh?
Corpse Jack Menace? But that's for 1/1 counters. I don't think it's for.
Oh, you're talking about in the set? I can pull him up. No, I was talking about. But do you know what Magistrate Scepter is?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I don't know. It just says remove 3 charge counters from it and then take an extra turn.
Right. So if you could move the charge counters from this based on landfall over to your Magistrate Scepter, and you go infinite turns.
Yeah, the odds of you being able to get a couple landfalls and get charge counters. You only need 3. There's definitely a possibility to do that. I just thought of it as like even if you're playing a landfall deck, obviously this becomes much better because you're running all the fetch lands. You're playing extra lands per turn. But it's kind of a Soul Ring, kind of a not an Arcane Signet. What's the three? Commander Sphere. But then the ability to just like lightning bolt something at instant speed, that's a little disruptive. I don't know. It's interesting. It's not super powerful, but I think it's playable in some decks.
The one that I was talking about, and I don't know exactly how Hardened Scales reads. I think it's every time you put a +1/+1 counter on something. But this is, very similar, And Hardened Scales is, clearly something used in a lot of decks. So combine this in a Hardened Scales deck. It's a 2 casting cost creature that automatically creates a mutagen token when it comes into play. So,
Yeah,
it's
because we
not.
needed more of these hardened scale effects.
I'm
There's so
just
many
saying,
of
it's
them.
another Hardened Scale effect. Would you not agree?
Why is this pizza blue?
It's moldy.
Oh,
He's weird. I don't.
here's the weirdness to
I'm not a
11.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle guy,
Yeah, I have no idea why his pizza is blue.
but I didn't know if you saw this, Hardened Scales effect. So I'd imagine,
I think I came across it, but yeah.
this guy's going to slot into a Hardened Scales deck. Just being able to copy 1/1 tokens is really a fantastic ability. There's so many +1/+1 counter effects out there, and this doesn't have that terrible line that they like to add to all new cards, which
Only
is what
triggers once a turn.
only triggers once this turn. Go F yourself. At least this one, it does say one or more, so at least it's not like every 1/1 counter that you put on. If you put 11 1/1 counters, put 22 of them instead.
That'll go really good with this guy. Whenever
What's
you gain
that?
a life, put one counter on Leonardo.
Yeah, he's the what is that cat called? The one that gets a +1/+1 every time you gain a life.
I don't know. This has lifelink. I don't know if that cat has lifelink.
Johnny's Pride Mate.
Oh yeah, he does have lifelink. I think he has
Well, he
City's
doesn't have a
Blessing.
lifelink.
He
He
makes
doesn't
half.
have does he? I don't think so.
I
But
think so.
what's her name? The Selesnya, one white, one green that lets you scry. I don't think she has lifelink either.
Oh, you're thinking. Oh, that's the 2 mana cost one. There's one that's 1
Well,
mana.
this is a 2 mana cost.
Well, it has sneak,
Yeah.
so it's only 1 mana.
So it's not bad. Like I'll agree with you that the set. Look, I think everybody universally will agree that this set is far superior to Spider-Man.
One of the streamers that was opening a box, he was saying that the collector box is one of the best value collector boxes you can buy in the last 2 years. It's a bold fucking statement.
Did you watch the Saffron Olive box opening? He finally
David told me about it, and it was like $2,000 or some shit, but that's all pre-release prices. It's probably gonna be half that.
it is, but
half,
even
still
his pre-release, he's been doing it. I've been watching like the last 5 that he's done, and they were all like in the pooper. This is the first one that broke even, basically. So,
broke even. He only paid $400. You got $2,000 worth of cards.
No. He opened 5 boxes. It's $2,000 worth, and he got about $2,000 back at the end.
Oh, he was ahead of I thought it was just one that got 2,000.
No, he opened 5 boxes.
Oh, well, then that's not good.
Well, it's better than everything else that he's losing 50% on.
Sure.
But I again, we always caution, don't buy the boxes to try to gamble and make money. That's a terrible, terrible return on investment prospect. You are very likely to lose money.
Yeah.
Like probably 95+% chance you're going to lose money if you open product. The amount that you lose, that varies, but it's almost a guarantee that you're going to lose money. And that's only if you sell the cards. Like, why even open them? Like, that's just so bizarre. Unless you're going to make it worth your time opening them, going through the ass pain of getting, things packed up, sent off, dealing with scammers, all that kind of shit. The amount of profit margin on that is just non-existent. And how can you get excited about opening hit cards when the idea is you're just going to turn right around and, well, they won't be yours for long. You temporarily opened it.
Mind. This guy's good. But he's an 8-drop.
Okay.
Armageddon Future Shark. Yeah, obviously just reanimate this guy. But
Sure, if you can.
reanimate him, cheat him in, sneak attack, destroy 3 creatures. Super good. But anyways, we got no time. We're out of time. We gotta go play
Time
another
slips
game. We
away,
gotta play
folks,
some
and I want to
Commander
thank you all
Raids.
for yours. Hey, you know what we're so good at doing?
Telling
That's right,
people to like, comment, and subscribe.
shilling for ourselves. So at the end of the show, we'd like to ask you if you stuck with us this far, or if you're watching this on the repeat, do us a favor. It's absolutely free for you to hit the like, and even more free to hit the subscribe. And the bell icon is a bonus free. You know what else is free? Using our TCG affiliate link. It costs you nothing, nada, zero. And it does help us out. And we do spend money on the channel. That is a real thing. We're not making a lot of money. I can promise you that much. But
it's less than 1,000 in the entire life of the channel.
yeah. And how much did those mics cost? $400?
Yeah. I paid for those. I didn't even take the money out. That's still I
But,
maybe
you
I
know,
will one day. But yeah.
And you know, paying for the StreamYard when we did, and just other things that we do. It's not free for us to run this, and at best we break even. I can tell you, I've never made a
Do
penny.
it for the love of the game.
Do it for the love of the game.
I'm sure
for
Nate's
sure.
waiting, so we gotta go.
Amen. Hey, hit that link, folks, and watch us play some Commander Raids, Lorwyn style.
Watch us lose. It's a new juiced raid monster. Woo!
That would be a first.